Hi, in this video we are going to go over how to use the drag and drop calendar in Dash. So let's begin by logging in. At the top of the screen, let's go directly to the calendar button. And here we have the drag and drop calendar. You're going to need a couple different authorizations in order to do certain things here. If you wish to create and edit events here, you simply need the event create and edit authorization found within the user roles. If you would like to create the resources, which are the spaces in which we would schedule any given event on, or any given activity, you'll have to have the resource management authorization. Upon activation, you can then go to the resources page through the global search and then create and edit existing resources here. You can also create resource groups to group them together, which makes filtering in the calendar a little bit easier. You see a couple different sections on this page. You see the left-hand control panel, which when affected will dictate what shows up on the right side of this page. So I'm currently viewing the Mill Creek location. However, I can view other ones at the same time or just one at a time. I can also choose based on the resource groups I have which types of areas I want to view, as well as the events themselves, whether it's a class, camp, game, or any other custom event that you may have created in your system that you wish to view. Once I've made those selections, as well as the option to view multiple days at a time, I can then hit refresh and apply those changes to the right side of the page. We also see a number of buttons at the top of the screen. The first one here letting us revert to the current day whenever we're viewing any other day, as well as some undo and redo buttons. So while making edits to this page, if I'm dragging a class to a different time or part of the resource, upon which will ask me if it's part of a series or other related events, if I want to edit the other events in the series. So since this is a class, it's asking me if I'm just making this class, this change to this one class, or if I'm going to be making it to multiple, or maybe even the rest of them for that season. In this case, I'm just doing the one. Now it's at my new time. You also, in addition to the drag option you see with this 4-arrow clicker, the option to drag with the 2 arrows, either the start time or the end time. And upon each of these changes being made, you can see my short history of undo options here. So I can click this button all the way back through the last 3 changes I may have made. I will keep that last one though with my redo button. The buttons next to that let us either expand or collapse all these titles, which will just hide and stack the events on any given separate sub-resource within the resource itself. And this button next to it, doing just the opposite and expanding them back out again to view each individual sub-resource. The magnifying glass here will let me search for existing events, which will really just redirect us to the event search report page, or lack thereof with searching for what availability there is. This calendar settings dropdown will let you edit the specificity of how you can drag and drop different events with the drag and drop increment. You can also edit how your calendar shows up with the calendar zoom, the day start and end time, which is typically just your operating hours to grab any events that might be going on any given day. The max resources only applies if you have so many resources that you might need to cap that out in order to keep consistent load time, and the column width that will give us a default or standard for how large these resources are showing up. This lock button, as you see, is now unlocked, is permitting me to make changes, and now when I lock it, will prevent me from doing so with a warning telling me what's going on there. You can also click on any given part of the schedule. Let's say here at 11 a.m. on the staff field. Actually, instead we'll do the field 2 at 11 a.m. and we can choose any type of event to schedule here. This list can be augmented or edited or added to with your own custom event types if you'd like. And that's pretty much it for the drag and drop calendar. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our video on scheduling events or creating events here.